Hey everyone, welcome to Hard Reset. I wanted to talk today about the trap of logic in a spiritual world. The world, when you look around, does not look spiritual. It looks like a physical reality. I can touch this stuff and my hand doesn't go through it. But it's all dream matter. It's all consciousness being dreamt by the ultimate mind. We call it God consciousness, source consciousness, the force. It's not actually a logical world, it's a mythological world. You're supposed to be living mythologically, half in myth and half in logic. You use logic to, get things done in reality. You got to eat, you got to make food, you got to shower, I don't know, do whatever. Interact with things, get things done. But in this dream reality, logic is something that has to exist so that we don't lose our minds. It's part of this reality. Like, you can look as deep into something as you want, and you'll find that there's a logic to it. How it's made, what's it made out of. Like, you'll look at the cells in the body, or, I don't know, the gears of a clock or something. There has to be logic to everything, because if there wasn't logic in this reality, people would go absolutely crazy. It would just be like, it'd be like one of those crazy AI videos that are kind of dreamlike, where all this crazy stuff is happening and the camera's moving around and things are like mutating and morphing and changing. People would lose their minds. So there has to be logic to everything, but if you lean too far into logic, things get kind of weird. You know? People who are like totally leaning into logic, they don't usually have a spiritual side, which is kind of funny because we're all spiritual beings and everything is spiritual. And if you want to look at spirituality with logic, it becomes like quantum physics and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, wow, that's all good and fine for those people, but we know that this is all consciousness. It's all a dream, essentially. And you have to walk this world in balance. You have to be half in logic and half in myth. Put the two together, you get mythologic mythology. So you have to kind of be like a Jedi. You have to use your intuition and your feelings. Feelings are so important to making the life that you want. Feeling is everything. Everything is feeling and vibration. It's not like feeling and stuff is not logical, really. You have to use the force, basically. You got to be like a Jedi. And then use logic when you need to like get things done. Like, if I'm going to be driving in my car, I have to be in logic a bit so I don't drive off the road. But when I'm like making decisions in life, I'm using the force. I'm using feeling, and I'm trusting my gut and my soul. I listen to my soul. The best way to do that is through meditation and different spiritual practices. I like to use psychedelics every now and then, psilocybin mushrooms. I've had some pretty wild times on those, and I've also acquired quite a bit of spiritual knowledge from the mushrooms alone. So it's very important to be balanced. You have to find a way to trust your intuition, to trust your feelings, even when people in your life will tell you, you should do things this way or you should do things that way. Don't listen to anyone. Don't live your life according to what other people think you should do. It's crazy, like in my life, people are always telling me what I should do. But I don't want to be like any of those people. Like, if I wanted to be like those people, I'd be doing what they want me to do. But I want to be me. A big part of this existence and this spiritual journey, it's about finding out who you truly are, like who you are beyond the ego persona. You have to figure out your true self, which ultimately, when you really get exploring into consciousness and in the mind, you find out you are like an extension of God consciousness. You are that. We're all the same thing, basically. Like when you're talking to someone, like a friend, you're actually talking to yourself. Everyone's a mirror of you, basically. I know that seems kind of weird when you first hear that, but if you explore long enough, you'll come to these conclusions. Use the Force, let the Force guide you, let consciousness guide you, let God guide you. And use logic to do things that kind of have to get done. We have to play along. We're still stuck in this reality. There's purpose to it all. The purpose being, experiencing contrast. And through that contrast and conflict and struggle, you evolve spiritually. You develop knowledge, spiritual knowledge, wisdom, and all that gets fed back to the big guy upstairs. I say big guy, it's neither guy nor gal. It's just an intelligence, a cosmic intelligence of the highest order that dreams this reality into existence. And we're all essentially dream characters sent out here to gather data and to evolve this consciousness as a whole. If you think of the universe expanding, like the far reaches of the universe, it's always constantly expanding. That expansion is basically the symbolic representation in this physical reality of the expansion of God consciousness and it, evolving. But just remember, don't lean too far into logic. Use it as a tool. The same with the ego. But remember, we're consciousness, and this is a spiritual existence. Use the Force. Be a Jedi. I love you all. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Hard Reset.